Thank you for being here on the Wise Practice Podcast. I'm looking forward to my interview today with Bianca Hughes. She's a compassionate therapist whose heart work breaks down barriers in mental health, guiding high achievers from the prison of perfection towards the authentic self discovery and profound inner peace. Through her powerful speaking, she touches lives by illuminating the path to freedom from perfectionism, creating transformative experiences that ripple through organizations and individuals alike. With genuine care, she leads Soulful Clinical Collective, a mentorship community for new and early career therapists navigating what's next in their career, providing real guidance and actionable steps to build financially sustainable careers without the burnout, gatekeeping, or the therapist can't make money narrative. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Whitney. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, well, let's just start out getting to know each
Yeah.
other. I had seen you on social media. We both went to the same graduate school, which is so
Mm.
fun.
Mhm.
But I want to kind of get to know you and your story of becoming a therapist and your practice and all the things.
Yeah, so I graduated 2015. Before I even got to that place, this is a second career for me. So I used to work in travel. So I'm originally born and raised in London. Came here was when I was 26 with the company I worked with at the time, which was a travel company. So for me, my journey that and then finding faith and like that made me really want to be in a career and do something I was created to do. So a year of prayer, searching, volunteering, reflecting, I was able to discover and realize, oh, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a calling for me. I always like to say I see myself as a healer and that this is the avenue I've chosen to use that in. And so graduated in 2015. That was a whole journey, but an amazing journey as you've been to Richmond. So it's like life-changing. But 2015, I got my full license in the summer of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always been in private practice, even in internship. And then once I graduated, I also worked in a hospital as well to get my hours, but always been in private practice and then went out 100%. I don't want to say 100% on my own. I learned as an APC how important it is to have a business mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that even though I was under supervision and direction, I had she was very supportive of me. I was able to create my niche and things like that. So I just had a very much of a business mindset as an APC. The only thing I didn't have was an official business name. But
Yeah.
I definitely had that mindset, which really made the difference when I transitioned and got my full license.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And for anyone that's listening, we're in the state of Georgia. So, here you can't have a business until you technically get that full license. It was crazy when I lived in Colorado before I came here. I did have my own business and was practicing and got my license. And then I came here and they were like, no, we're making you go back and get supervision. So I had to go back and work for somebody else. Anyway, the whole story. But yeah, so you were kind of doing the business type stuff and then you finally got your license and started your own business, it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. So I started my therapy practice, Authentically BU Counseling. And so my focus is, as we mentioned, is working with a lot of high achievers who are struggling with perfectionism and really helping them be their authentic self and aligned to their truths. And I am my ideal client is how I got here. I
Yes.
didn't always want to do this work, but um because it was like a reflection of you, you don't always want to see you on the couch, although you don't have any control over that. And
Mhm.
so I've been doing that really for the past, 8 years, really with the perfectionism and authenticity.
Yeah, that's great.
hmm
And so when did you start doing business consulting?
What do you mean for therapists, working with
Yeah.
therapists and stuff?
Mhm.
So I've done more of the therapist mentoring. Gosh, I think for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
So with Richmond, I mentored a lot of students there, and then it kind of grew from there in the sense that people were reaching out to me after they graduated to mentor them. And then I decided last year to create a community and have everybody together versus the one-on-one. And so people can learn from each other. So yeah, so mentoring maybe the last 5, 6 years and a little bit of coaching here and there.
Yeah, great. Well, I'm excited about our topic today
Yes,
because we're going to talk about marketing and
yes.
just the idea of at therapist marketing. I just heard someone the other day, she was just like, I don't want to do the marketing. I don't want to be sleazy, and all that stuff. So maybe we should kind of start with why do you think therapists don't like marketing?
Oh, because we weren't taught to
Yeah.
market and
Uh-huh.
we weren't told we had to market. So if you're just thinking I'm sitting with clients, I'm just sitting here and I'm just doing this work, like it, my online business manager said to me this week, she's like, you do realize you have two different types of businesses. You
Mm.
have a practice business where you're sitting here with clients and running the practice notes and being ethical. And now you also have a business to run with your marketing, taxes, and things like that. So you have two sets of ways you have to be, and no one prepared us for that. And so that feels really overwhelming. And then there's the other part, the third part is the sleazy part, right? How do I even market? How do I even get clients? Like it feels uncomfortable. I thought I would just be sitting with people. I didn't think I would have to go out in the public and do that. And I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so that's a common theme. Common, very. Do I have to perform? I feel like I have to perform. I have to do this. I have to do that. And so I just, yeah, I didn't like it. I was scared to market. I felt like, who's going to, especially I started as an APC really, and I was out there doing it. And it's like, who's going to want to hear from me? Unfortunately, there are some people in the community that don't treat the APCs, or if you're not fully licensed, nicely. And so I was very scared and conscious of that. And so yeah, I was scared myself and I didn't do it for a year because I was scared and fearful of
Mm.
what do I say? Are people going to send me clients or I don't have clients to offer them? So yeah.
Mm. I think that's a shared experience there, especially, imposter syndrome. Like we already feel like I can't believe someone's going to pay to come see me, put myself out there that way. So, I'm curious, what were some of maybe the mindset shifts or ways that you were able to put yourself out there when you were feeling so insecure about it?
Yeah, I would say the common throughout my whole career, outside of myself and who I am and my character and things like that, and also my faith and how that helps me, I would say community has been the other, like, the thread throughout my whole ability to thrive and grow as a therapist. And
Uh-huh.
so it can look different for everybody. So for me, I found someone who was doing this, I think it was a 30-day email, a 30-day learn how to market and build your confidence. It was like a 30-day email, and every day she would email you something to do to help build that confidence. And so, and then I would reply back and she would even reply back. So having that support and having that community helped me build the confidence I knew I needed to do. I just needed the support to do it. And I think that's the other thing. Sometimes as therapists, we could be a bit afraid or feel like we should know it all, or kind of going back to the imposter syndrome, like we should have it all together and we should know what we're doing. Why would we ask for help? And so sometimes that holds us back. So that was my very first step. And so from doing that, I love the phrase that she always said, which I still use. It's like dating. Like you just trial and error. You see what works, you see what marketing works for you, what doesn't work for you, what kind of people you're going to connect with, what events you go to. I like to say to people, like, people call me a marketing whiz. I was never that person. Like the networking whiz, I was never that person. I have grown to get to this. Like to me, I could meet someone in a coffee shop and do a whole business meeting. So if I really
Hmm.
need to, yes.
Yeah.
Like just meet right, and it's happened. And I've met connections, whether they're personal or professional.
Yeah. The other day I was getting my hair done and we got to the end and this lady comes up to me and she says, "Oh, you own Water's Edge Counseling," which it is very close to the hairstyle
Yeah.
place. It's like, yeah, that's me. She was like, "Yeah, I need to call and get my daughter scheduled." And I
Uh-huh.
literally had my computer with me and I was like, I'm going to be that bold. And I pull it out and I go, well, let me just schedule you right now. It's like you just never, like you just said,
Look at that.
you know where you're going to be. And yeah, we don't always want to be in therapy mode, but at the same time, people need help all the time.
Yes.
Need to
Yeah.
know who we are.
Yes, they
The
do.
perfectionists need to find you.
Yes, they do. And that's the part that we're not realizing is that people need help. We just think that they're going to come to us and find us. But over these past years, love-hate relationship with social media, but I do believe it has very great things. Over the past years with social media, as especially with threads, I find and you get a lot of information of the challenges people have of actually finding a therapist. So
Yes.
that tells me that we're not doing maybe the best job, which is that's fine. I understand that we haven't been taught, but we could do a better job. Even my online business manager, she was trying to find somebody and somewhere else, and she was like, it was really bad. Like it was hard for her. And so, yes, we do need help and people looking for help, but we haven't figured out how those people can find us, which is the thing that we have to learn. And that's hard if you're trying to sit with clients and get your hours and be present. And now you've got a market. That's what I say to people. Like, if you want to be in private practice, you got to really sit down and think about, do I want to own mine or do I want to be part of a group so I don't
Mm,
have to do all that stuff?
definitely. I had a
Yeah.
dear friend who was looking for a substance abuse counselor for
Yeah.
their spouse, and they wanted a Christian substance abuse counselor, and she could not find one. And this was in a very big city. And I was just like, this is sad. And then she like reached out to her pastor, and he didn't know one either. I'm sure there were plenty of Christian substance abuse
Yes.
counselors in that city. It's just they didn't know how to market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into that. So what do we do to market ourselves and help people find us?
Yeah. So and I'm sure you've done this too. I don't know. I'm kind of curious what you did, Whitney, but I find that your messaging don't even start with going out. Like, okay, you're going to go to the doctor, but what are you going to tell them? What is your messaging? We say what population and things like that, but you got to go deeper than that. You've got to look at listen to what your clients are saying in session, using their language, so that when I go out and I say perfectionism every single time, oh, I need you. Oh, I need to book a session with you. And I explain, yeah, the people who don't feel like they're doing enough and then yeah, I need you. You want people like you're literally standing there that they say, oh, I need you, or I know somebody who needs you. That's
Hmm.
literally the type of messaging that you want to have. So that you are I've been to places with therapists and I don't remember them. I know who I remember the people who do something that I'm like, I know I'll send someone to you. But if you tell me anxiety and depression, unless you have like a model or a framework, or there's something unique about you as a therapist, maybe you work with a certain age or a particular type of population, I am not going to remember you. And so if
Yeah.
I'm not remembering you, no one else is remembering you, and clients are not remembering you or to refer. So your messaging, number one, think
Yeah.
about who do you enjoy? What is the thing you keep saying in session? Write that down, take notes, who the things that you get excited about. And some people might be like, well, we need to work with everybody. You cannot work with everybody. You are designed and created to work with a certain. Now, do I just work with people with perfectionism? No. Are they the majority of my clients? Yes, they are. And so I would just say that, and a lot of people were scared if they niche down and they do this messaging that they're not going to get the clients. But are you getting the clients anyway? We want people to literally be typing in what they're searching for and find you in Google.
Hmm. Definitely.
And
Somebody,
chat GPT now.
oh,
I was looking at my analytics yesterday. Yeah, people are finding me on ChatGPT. How do people get to my website? ChatGPT.
yes, SEO is totally a different world now than it was even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I love what you're saying. Someone gave me an example one time of when you go to a steak restaurant, will you order something else if you don't want steak? Well, sure. I might order a salad or get some fish or something if I'm not in the mood for steak. But if I want a steak, I know where I'm going. And I think it's that way for
Ooh,
therapists too. We're not going to go to McDonald's to get a steak or Wendy's. We're going to the
ooh,
steakhouse down the street.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
But you're so on point about messaging. And I'm sure you see this too. It's like I go to a website and the messaging just isn't there. Or especially a solo practice owner will just be like, here's who I am, here's my degree. No one cares. No one cares. They want to know you understand me. Even when I read your bio, Bianca, I was like, oh, I want to work with her. But yeah, it was like she knows the language even by reading the bio. And I think you're spot on. Even Psychology Today profiles, people just go straight into, are you anxious? Work with me. Here's everything I can do for you, instead of
Yeah.
really speaking to their pain point.
Yes, exactly. I 100% agree. I mean, I get it all the time. Someone was just looking at, I just had a meeting earlier today. They was like, oh my God, your copy. I'm like, yes. But this is the other part too, Whitney. You have to be, one of the things I was very focused on was return on investment.
Hmm.
Number one, it's either going to be my money or my time.
Yep.
You've got to be prepared to invest in yourself, time or money. You got to pick which one you can work with. Some people don't have money, some people don't have the time, whatever it is. So whether it's, I did a quote after the marketing, I also ended up working with her and did like a coaching course, a coaching group, which made a huge difference, right? So I was willing to invest. But at first, I invested the time
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I invested the money. And
Hmm.
so that's the other part that we're not taught about is that with all that, like you're saying, it, if you don't have the money, that's fine. You could do that. You can find it for free, but you just got to invest the time to create that thing. Yeah.
That's true. And for us,
Mhm.
time is money. I mean, sitting in the chair is money, and just to tell
Yeah.
you the truth, I'd much rather serve a client than spend my time working on my website.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the website person can't serve that client, but I can.
Yes. Exactly. And so
Hmm.
that's how I look at it. I go, look, okay, how much is this gonna cost? How much? Okay, how many cars is this? How much? Oh, okay. And that's literally how I make a decision. I see how many clients it will cost me. Is this worth it? Oh, yes. As soon as I said, oh, that's just one session. Oh, sure. I'll pay for it, hands down. Because I know it's gonna take me more than an hour. So I'm not going to do that, and I'm thankful to be in that place. But if at first you don't, I do want people to know you've got to make a decision to invest the time.
Definitely. What do you think is kind of a maybe a marketing secret or a way
Yeah,
that therapists don't think about marketing that would be helpful for them to hear?
yeah. So I do this free workshop, networking for therapists who hate networking, and one of the things I say is it's all about how you connect and how you are wired. It's not about a performance like we kind of talked about. Some people think
Mhm.
it's a performance. I've got to say all these things. Like, how do you naturally connect? So, for example, we talked about I'm a coffee shop. I love being in a coffee shop, right? So I always meet people in a coffee shop because that's how I easily connect. I'm going to meet you in a coffee shop and I'm going to have conversations in a coffee shop. What am I talking about when I meet people? Am I talking about work? No, I'm talking about you traveling anywhere because I like to travel. What are your hobbies? Have you found one? Great one. If you're a therapist, we don't have hobbies. Hey, have you managed to find a hobby? Because I'm a therapist and I haven't. Or if you're a therapist who does have a hobby, you can share your hobbies. And so that way we're connecting with similar things. And then you can get to the other stuff. The other thing our focus is on is serving people.
Mhm.
How can I best serve you? Who can I connect you with? Now, it's not necessarily to get something back. They might ask you, they might not, but you're sowing a seed because if they don't ask you, somebody else will. And it takes the pressure of you having to feel like I have to sell myself, I have to share. But by the time you do that and you focus on that, you'll naturally gravitate towards what the work you do, and we're sharing the message, and you can just share the work you've been doing and what you've been enjoying or what you've been noticing in the field lately, right? And so you're having these conversations that are focused on connection and serving.
Yeah. I love that. It's our natural bit. I think about just that authentic self.
Yes.
The authentic
Yeah.
self leads the way, and people see that. And And even as therapists, we're experts at asking people about their lives and listening to them. That's all you're doing when you're marketing.
Yes, that's exactly what I shared. Like, you're wonderful at asking questions and being nosy. Like, that's not hard. We've just got to shift the mindset and the pressure that I've got to perform and do something differently. And I think that's the thing that I often talk about. We don't have to do anything differently.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think even as being therapists, being our authentic selves. I don't know if you found that for you. Like, the more you've been authentic, the better it's been.
Oh, I'm such a better therapist. Yeah, because I've grown into who I am. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that motivates my clients.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. I'm sitting here thinking about branding too and values, and it's like and that goes with messaging. It's like, what are my values? Who is my
Hmm.
business? Because our business is really just an extension of us in the world. So who
Hmm.
are we? How do we extend that and play that out with people?
Yes. Yeah. Values are a big part because you're going, my favorite saying is we make our decisions out of what we believe and what we value. And so, what type of practice we have, what our practice looks like, how we operate is all based on values. I would 100% agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. A big part of this show is that we do faith-based, private practice owners. So curious what you think about marketing from a Christian perspective, or a lot of people ask, should I market as a Christian counselor? Is that pigeonholing me? Like, what do you think
Hmm.
about
It depends on how you practice.
that? Uh-huh.
So, I would say for me, my number one search that where I'm top, like top of Google, is
Hmm.
Black Christian therapist in Atlanta. So that answers your one question. Is
Hmm.
that no, it's not pigeonholing you because that's what people are searching for. And I know
Sure.
that for a fact because that my website is you put that in there for Atlanta, I'm coming up on the first page. And then it also depends how you practice. Some people, are you practicing as a Christian? Like you're just saying you're a Christian and you want that person to feel comfortable? Or is it like me and you, where we've been trained to incorporate that into therapy? So that also looks big different because not only have we been trained to incorporate Christianity, we can also incorporate other faiths too. It looks different. So I always go back to how do you want to show up and how do you operate? Is it just I'm a Christian? Then you just say that. Is it I'm also integrating faith and what that looks like? Then that's different. And so uh, a lot of my clients look for that. And it's not that I think actually more of them just want to feel comfortable talking about their faith more so than they don't always want to integrate it. Some do, but some don't. So it
Yeah.
depends on the client. Sometimes they just want to know
Hmm.
that they can talk freely.
Yeah. So much of what I hear you saying is be yourself. How are you already operating in your counseling space? And then
Hmm.
just say that instead of getting like, wait, should I be this? Should I not be this?
Hmm.
Just be you. And so if you
Hmm.
naturally give a Christian perspective in all your therapy
Hmm.
sessions, you might want to market that way. And if that's not something
Hmm.
that you're doing, maybe you don't talk about it so openly.
Yes, and that's so funny. Be you. I love when people align to everything I say is authentically be you.
Hmm.
But that is exactly what I say. I like to say that, Whitney, is that there is always someone like this is anything in life. There's always someone looking for what you have and what you need. But as therapists, there's always someone that has what you need, right? There are
Yeah.
people that have what you need. And so when you are putting on a mask and you're not sharing that, they're also missing out on an opportunity to receive what you have because no one can do therapy the way that you do therapy. So you have all these questions of da 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 da, but what about the other side? We always ask the other side, well, what if it does work out? What if there is someone searching for you? Exactly the way you do it.
Yeah, I love that.
What
Hmm.
if what if there's loads of people who want it exactly the way that you do it? I
Yeah.
remember someone saying to me one time, "Well, you could do perfectionism, but you're probably going to have to do other stuff too because you're not going to get that many clients." I was like, oh, "Okay, well," but I didn't. I listened and I was like, "No, I'm going to stick with this."
Hmm. You're going to be authentic to you.
Yes. Yes.
I love that. I love that. So you've got a quiz for the audience about your superpower. Could you talk about that?
Yes. So again, going back to being your authentic self, there is this quiz that I have that kind of it outlines, and people have done it are like, oh my God, this is so true. Just the different types of ways you might operate as a therapist, whether you are a person who's better in your own practice, or whether you are someone who's like doing both, or you're like out here to change the world. And so the quiz is really identifying your superpowers in general, what your superpowers are, what you're really great at, and where to best use them as a therapist in your career.
Great.
Yeah.
And then how do people find you and
The
get the
best way to find yeah, the best way to find me for therapy or anything is authenticallybu.com. And I do have a community, online community. We mentioned the Soulful Clinician Collective, and that's soulfulcliniciancollective.com, where I just helping we have a community, just really helping people just do the marketing, work through the imposter syndrome, diversifying that income, and talking about money, ensuring that we're thriving as therapists and not burning out, and truly aligning so we can deliver what we're meant to versus burning ourselves out.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, this has been so good. When you say you're going to talk about marketing, people expect, oh, we're going to hit these, key points. But really, we came back to what's most important is who we are,
Yes.
being
Yeah.
authentic with that. And so that's a good reminder for all of us. And I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Whitney. Yeah. And I hope people can remember that. And if you second guess yourself, do it with a colleague, and you can both do it together, and you can both support one another in doing that.
That's great. Well, thank you for the time and expertise that you provided to us today. It's really been a pleasure.